My cousin leaned close enough that only I could hear her. "Enjoy sleeping in your car?" she whispered. She was smiling when she said it, not nervous, not unsure, confident, because in her mind, the courtroom we were standing outside wasn't a place for justice. It was a place where she was about to win. What she didn't know was that my grandfather had already made sure she wouldn't. And in less than an hour, the same courtroom she walked into smiling would watch her lose everything. The probate hearing hadn't even started yet, and already I could feel their certainty. Bria stood beside the courtroom doors in a cream blazer that probably cost more than 3 months of my groceries. Her posture was relaxed, her smile casual, like she wasn't here to fight, like she was here to collect something she already owned. She leaned closer. "After today," she said softly, "you won't have anywhere left to go." Behind her, someone laughed quietly, not loudly, just enough to remind me that cruelty, in my family, had always been a group activity. My parents stood a few feet behind her. They didn't stop her. My mother, Lorna, wore her familiar tight smile, the one she used when she believed she was smarter than everyone else in the room. My father didn't even look at me. He stared past me, like I was already gone. They weren't worried. They were waiting. Waiting for the court to make it official. Waiting for me to lose my home. But I didn't respond. I didn't give Bria what she wanted, because reactions were weakness in their world. And today, I couldn't afford weakness. The bailiff opened the courtroom doors. We all went inside. The air smelled faintly of wood polish and paper. Controlled. Sterile. Like a place designed to turn human lives into files. I sat beside my attorney, Nadia Sloan. Across from us sat my parents, Bria and their attorney, Mitchell Crane. Bria kept glancing at me, waiting for cracks, waiting for emotion. She wouldn't get it. Judge Kessler entered, and everyone stood. "This hearing concerns the estate of Harold Price," he said. My grandfather, hearing his name spoken like that, formal, distant, felt wrong. He wasn't an estate. He was the only person who had ever truly protected me. Crane stood. "Your Honor, my clients request immediate surrender of the residence currently occupied by Miss Price." Surrender, like I was an intruder. The judge turned toward me. "Miss Price, are you living in the residence?" "Yes," I said calmly, "at my grandfather's request." Crane smiled faintly. "There is no written agreement confirming that." Of course there wasn't. They had never expected there to be one. They had expected me to be alone, unprepared, easy, but they were wrong, because I wasn't alone. Not really. I opened my folder slowly, removed the sealed envelope, and handed it to Nadia. She stood immediately. "Your Honor, we have a document that must be entered into the record." The courtroom shifted. The clerk opened it, read it, and her expression changed. Judge Kessler read it next, and then he looked directly at my mother. "Did you file an emergency petition 2 days before Mr. Price passed away?" My mother froze, only for a second, then she said, "No." But her voice wasn't as steady as before. The judge turned back to the screen. "Because the system shows that you did." And suddenly, for the first time since this started, they weren't smiling anymore. The judge leaned forward slightly. "Expand the verification log," he told the clerk. She clicked. The screen filled with authentication records. Cold, precise, unarguable. "This filing originated from your home internet," Judge Kessler said to my mother. She shook her head. "That doesn't mean anything." He kept reading. "The verification code was sent to a phone number ending in 4821. He paused, looked at Bria. "Is that your number?" She hesitated. "I don't know." It was the worst answer she could have given, because innocent people don't forget their phone numbers. The judge continued. The code was entered successfully. Silence filled the room, because everyone understood what that meant. Someone in that family had verified the fraudulent petition, and the system had recorded exactly who My mother tried again. Anyone could have used our Wi-Fi, but the judge wasn't finished. The authentication was completed on a mobile device registered to Miss Donnelly. Bria stopped breathing. Her confidence was gone, replaced by fear. Then Nadia stood again. We also submit a directive prepared by the decedent prior to his death. The judge read it carefully. His expression hardened. This directive states Mr. Price discovered the unauthorized petition. My grandfather had known. He had known what they were trying to do, and he had prepared for it. Then the judge asked the question that changed everything. Is Mr. Price's attorney present? The courtroom doors opened. A man stepped inside. Grant Vela, he said, and I have additional evidence. He held up a flash drive, a recorded statement made by Harold Price. My family had expected him to be silent. Instead, he was about to testify. The screen flickered, and then my grandfather appeared, sitting at his kitchen table. Clear. My name is Harold Price, he said. The room froze. I am recording this because members of my family are attempting to remove my granddaughter through false legal filings. Bria's breathing became visible. My mother stared at the screen like she could erase it with willpower. I am of sound mind, he continued. They claimed I wasn't. He held up the filing confirmation. This was submitted without my consent. He paused. The verification was sent to my niece's phone. Bria made a small sound, barely audible, but enough, he continued. They tried to isolate me. Judge Kessler leaned forward. They took my phone. The courtroom reacted. They wanted to stop me. He looked directly into the camera, so I contacted my attorney. My mother's composure cracked. I updated my estate plan. Bria's face went pale, because she understood. This wasn't defense. This was preparation. I documented everything. He leaned closer. Hannah did nothing wrong. The words hit harder than anything else. They underestimated how prepared I was. The video ended, and with it, their story collapsed. Judge Kessler didn't hesitate. Collect their phones. My mother blinked. I'm sorry. Phones. He repeated. The bailiff stepped forward. Bria hesitated. The judge spoke calmly. You will comply. She handed it over. The bailiff sealed both phones in evidence bags. Nothing could be erased now. Then the judge opened the will. The residence, he read aloud, is granted to Hannah Price. My mother gasped. Bria whispered, what? The judge continued. $10,000 to Lorna Price. My mother froze. Not the house. Just $10,000. To Dean Price, $10,000. And to Bria Donnelly, $1,000. Her face drained of color. Then came the final clause. Any beneficiary who contests this will forfeit their inheritance. They had already contested it. They had already lost everything. Then the courtroom doors opened again. Investigator Rise, the woman said. District Attorney's Office. And just like that, this wasn't family anymore. This was criminal. Outside the courtroom, my mother approached me. This isn't over, she whispered. But she didn't sound powerful. She sounded desperate. The bailiff stepped closer. She backed away. Because now, threats had consequences. Weeks later, charges were filed. Fraudulent court filing. Perjury. Attempted unlawful eviction. Their phones had preserved everything. Verification logs. Deleted records. Proof. My mother accepted probation. Bria was charged as an accomplice. My father testified. The protective order remained. They couldn't contact me, couldn't threaten me, couldn't control me. I changed the locks, installed cameras, secured everything my grandfather left behind. Not because I was afraid, because I understood something now. Protection isn't about strength, it's about preparation. One evening, I found the key he had hidden, exactly where he said it would be. He hadn't just protected the house, he had protected me. Even after he was gone, they walked into court expecting to make me homeless. They walked out facing criminal charges instead. Because they thought they could erase me. But my grandfather made sure the truth couldn't be erased. And the court believed the truth, not the loudest voice, not the cruelest threat, the proof. So tell me, if you were in my position, would you have stayed silent and let the evidence speak, or expose them the moment they threatened you? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more true courtroom stories.